Welcome to the rugged frontier of the American Wild West, a land steeped in history, folklore, and unsolved mysteries. From undiscovered fortunes to notorious outlaws whose stories have baffled experts, these mysteries continue to captivate treasure hunters, historians, and researchers. Join us as we explore the most astonishing Wild West enigmas that have challenged the minds of adventurers and scholars for generations. The hunt for the legendary lost silver mine in Texas, known as the Saba Mine, stands as one of the most captivating unsolved mysteries of the Wild West. This tale, tracing its origins all the way back to the 1750s, claims that Spanish missionaries and colonists stumbled upon rich silver deposits near the Saba River. Yet, as time passed, the location of this supposed treasure trove was lost, turning the story into an irresistible enigma for treasure hunters and historians alike. But what makes this mystery even more fascinating? Despite countless expeditions and extensive searches over the centuries, no solid proof of the mine's existence has ever surfaced. Can you imagine dedicating your life to a treasure hunt with no guarantees of success? Even today, the whereabouts of the Saba Mine remain unknown. The legends surrounding this lost mine are often woven together with stories of Apache raids, Spanish colonization, and the possibility of hidden maps. These tales add extra layers of intrigue and mystery to the search. Could it be that the mine isn't confined to one location but actually spread across various regions, mined in small pockets by the Spanish and Native American communities? Or is it buried within the complex network of caves and crevices found throughout the rugged Texas landscape, hiding in plain sight? Whatever the truth, the allure of the Saba Mine goes beyond the promise of wealth. It's not just about silver, but about the deeper historical and cultural puzzles that remain unsolved. Elmer McCurdy, an outlaw, met his end in a shootout in 1911. His body then embarked on an incredible journey, almost too strange to believe. McCurdy had been preserved using arsenic base, a common method at the time. With no family to claim him, he was left in the care of a funeral director, and his well-preserved body became an unusual attraction. For just 5 cents, curious visitors could view his here. But this bizarre fascination didn't stop there. Over the years, McCurdy was traded and passed from hand to hand as a strange artifact. He became part of carnival sideshows and wax museums, and was even used as a prop in films. He was taken all over the country, with each new owner unknowingly adding to the bizarre story of his journey. It wasn't until 1976, 65 years later, that the mystery was uncovered. While filming an episode of The $6 Million Man at a funhouse in Long Beach, California, the crew accidentally broke the arm off what they thought was a wax figure. To their shock, they discovered it was a real human body, and it belonged to none other than Elmer McCurdy. After decades of being part of the darker side of American entertainment, McCurdy was finally laid to rest at Summit View Cemetery in Guthrie, Oklahoma. How could this go on for so long without anyone realizing the truth? Share your thoughts on this strange story in the comments below. Before we continue, I have a special 10-second request for all of you listening. If you can help me in any way, just press the notification bell and hit that subscribe button. It means the world. It really supports this channel. And if you do that for me, I promise my team and I will do everything we can to make this show even better for you. Deal? It all began in the year 1911, when a remarkable discovery was made inside Lovelock Cave, involving traces of what some believe to be a race of giant beings. 2 miners, during their daily work, accidentally uncovered a large collection of ancient remains, some believed to be as tall as 8 feet. This finding sparked rumors of an ancient race of red-haired giants that were said to have once roamed the area, causing unease among local Native American tribes. Adding to the intrigue, the Paiute tribe in the region has its own oral traditions, strangely aligning with these legends. They tell stories of a group of red-haired giants, known as the Saitikie, who had peculiar habits and once caused tension with their ancestors. After years of struggles, the Paiute recounts how they eventually enclosed the last of these giants within Lovelock Cave, carrying out a ceremonial act to seal the area. To this day, ancient artifacts and signs of burning are still found in the cave, lending some credence to the story and continuing to pique curiosity. Despite these fascinating tales, modern scientific studies do not support the idea of actual giants. Skeptics suggest that the so-called oversized ancient remains may have been exaggerated or simply the result of misunderstandings of the scattered remains over time. As for the distinctive red hair, many experts believe it could be the result of natural pigment changes as remains age. Whatever the case may be, the mystery of Lovelock Cave remains a captivating puzzle, blending folklore, archaeology, and speculative theories. While the mystery of Lovelock Cave stirs curiosity about ancient giants, another legend from a very different era keeps adventurers on the hunt for hidden riches across the Wild West. The Dalton Gang is one of the most infamous names tied to the Wild West. Brothers Grat, Bob, and Emmett Dalton, along with other gang members, carried out a spree of bank and train robberies in the early 1890s. But what became of the riches they accumulated? The legend of the Dalton Gang's hidden treasure comes from the fact that they were constantly on the move, often fleeing the law. They couldn't carry all their loot with them, so it's believed they buried some of it in secret locations, planning to come back for it later. Unfortunately for the Daltons, those plans were cut short in the year 1892 during a failed bank robbery in Coffeyville, Kansas. This incident resulted in several gang members losing their lives and the capture of Emmett Dalton, who miraculously survived and later became somewhat of a celebrity. But where did all that treasure go? That's the million-dollar question that has sparked countless theories. Some think it's buried in the rugged hills of Kansas or Oklahoma, while others believe it's hidden near the scenes of their robberies. What's even more puzzling is that no solid evidence, like maps or clues left by the gang, has ever surfaced. Emmett Dalton, the lone surviving brother, served time in prison and later lived a quieter life, but he never disclosed the treasure's whereabouts. Could he have taken the secret to his grave? Over the years, treasure hunters armed with metal detectors and driven by tales of outlaw riches have combed the countryside, hoping to strike gold. Yet, despite these efforts, no substantial treasure linked to the Dalton Gang has ever been found. This begs the question, is the treasure real? Or has it become just another legend, growing with each passing generation? The enduring appeal of the Dalton Gang's hidden fortune isn't just about the money. It's a direct connection to a time when the law was often optional, and daring outlaws ruled the West. This story takes us back to the 16th or 17th century, when a Spanish galleon supposedly found itself stranded far from the sea, buried beneath the sands of California's Colorado Desert. Can you believe that? According to the tale, this galleon was carrying a treasure trove of pearls when it was caught in a fierce storm in the Gulf of California. An earthquake or possibly a flood is said to have completely transformed the landscape, trapping the ship in the middle of a desert. Over time, the area dried up, leaving the ship entombed beneath the shifting sands. But that's not the end of the story. Over the years, countless explorers and treasure hunters have ventured into the desert, drawn by this centuries-old mystery. Some have even claimed to have seen parts of the ship, wooden beams or hulls, jutting out from the desert floor. However, just as quickly as they found it, the ship seemed to vanish again, swallowed by the unforgiving desert. Was it just a mirage, or could there really be a ship hidden beneath the desert? Skeptics, of course, point out that the extreme heat and dry conditions of the desert would likely have destroyed any wooden structure over time. And despite all the rumors and supposed sightings, no hard evidence has ever surfaced to prove the galleon's existence. The mystery of the lost ship of the desert remains unsolved, leaving us to wonder, is this just a tall tale, or could there be a forgotten piece of history buried beneath the sands, waiting to be found? The incident at Canyon Diablo in March of the year 1989, in northern Arizona, stands as one of the most intriguing and perplexing events in the Wild West. 4 masked individuals carried out a robbery on a train belonging to the Atlantic and Pacific Railroad, seizing assets valued at over $40,000 by today's standards. After a pursuit spanning hundreds of miles, those involved were eventually brought before the law. They were tried under Arizona's new legal provisions, which prescribed strict consequences for train robbery. However, Instead of receiving the harshest penalties, they were given surprisingly lenient sentences ranging from 25 to 30 years. Was there something within the legal system that contributed to this outcome, or were there unseen legal nuances that allowed them to avoid more severe consequences? Yet this isn't the only aspect that makes the case so mysterious. Although some of the stolen assets were recovered, a significant portion remained missing for years. Then, unexpectedly, a cowboy stumbled upon old, worn saddlebags containing part of the missing funds while riding through the area. Was this the final piece of the puzzle, or are there still treasures out there waiting to be discovered? How much of the stolen property remains hidden, and why did those responsible manage to avoid the most serious repercussions despite their actions? These unresolved elements continue to spark debate and fuel curiosity around this infamous train robbery. Etta is the elusive companion of the infamous Sundance Kid. Her story is shrouded in so much mystery that even after over a century, historians and experts remain stumped by the many unanswered questions about her life and fate. Who exactly was she? Descriptions of Etta portray her as a beautiful and refined woman, but beyond her appearance, very little is known about her origins. She played a significant part in the lives of two of the West's most notorious outlaws, Sundance Kid and Butch Cassidy. Etta was romantically linked to Sundance and is known to have accompanied the duo during their criminal exploits, including their infamous escape to South America. But what became of Etta after the supposed deaths of Sundance and Cassidy in Bolivia? Some historians speculate that she might have returned to the United States, living under a completely new identity. Could she have blended back into society, leading a quiet, unsuspecting life? Others believe she might have stayed in South America, possibly continuing her involvement in crime. One thing is for sure: the lack of solid evidence has left experts scratching their heads. There are no confirmed records of Etta after that dramatic moment in Bolivia, leaving us with more questions than answers. Could she still have secrets buried in the dusty records of history, or are we forever left to wonder? What do you think? Will we ever uncover the truth behind Etta's disappearance? Let us know in the comments below. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid are two names that still echo through the annals of Wild West history. This infamous outlaw duo became legends, not just for their audacious heists but also for their mysterious disappearance that continues to baffle historians and enthusiasts alike. Official records claim they lost their lives in a shootout in Bolivia back in the year 1908. But is that really the end of their story? Alternative theories suggest otherwise. Some believe that Butch and Sundance managed to escape that fateful incident and return to the United States, slipping into new identities and living out their days in secrecy. But where do these theories come from? And why do they persist over a century later? The pair originally gained notoriety as members of the Wild Bunch Gang, a group known for robbing banks and trains with remarkable precision. Their heists were daring, their escapes razor-thin. Yet, despite their dangerous lifestyle, it's the mystery of what happened after Bolivia that truly captivates the public's imagination. Bolivian authorities reported neutralizing two bandits they believed to be Butch and Sundance. But here's the catch: those bodies were laid to rest without any definitive identification. This vague conclusion left the door wide open for speculation. Could Butch have returned to the United States and lived out his life quietly in Utah, passing away in the 1930s? Some accounts suggest just that. As for Sundance, rumors claim he slipped back to his home state of Pennsylvania, leaving his life of crime behind for a more peaceful existence. These alternative endings have only been fueled by reported sightings and stories passed down through generations. Yet for all the speculation, no concrete proof has ever been found to settle the debate. Whether they met their end in Bolivia or lived out their days in quiet obscurity, the mystery surrounding their disappearance remains one of the most enduring puzzles of the Wild West. The Superstition Mountains in Arizona are steeped in mystery, especially when it comes to the enduring legends surrounding the Lost Dutchman's gold mine and a dangerous legend that has claimed the lives of countless treasure hunters. Situated east of Phoenix, these rugged peaks have long been guarded by powerful forces. But is there something more going on here than just ancient beliefs? One of the most famous tales involves Jacob Waltz, a German immigrant, often referred to as the Dutchman in the 19th century. He is said to have stumbled upon a rich gold mine hidden deep in the Superstitions. Since then, wave after wave of adventurers have ventured into the mountains in search of the treasure. Strangely, many of these treasure seekers have never returned. Could it be that the mine is protected by a mysterious force? Over the decades, stories of disappearances, sudden losses, and strange, almost supernatural occurrences have fueled the legend of this powerful warning. Some versions of the story even suggest that an Apache shaman placed a strong omen on the land, vowing that anyone who disturbed this ground in search of gold would face unlucky. Despite technological advances and numerous expeditions, the mine's location has never been confirmed. But what keeps people coming back despite the dangers? Even modern treasure hunters, archaeologists, and researchers armed with advanced tools have been unable to crack the mystery. What's more unsettling, many have vanished or met bizarre accidents, reinforcing the belief that an unseen force may be at play. Could this legend be tied to these unexplained? Some believe the legend is merely the result of natural dangers. This area is home to rough, jagged terrain, dangerous wildlife, and extreme weather. But others point to the eerie reports of mysterious phenomena. There are claims of strange creatures, unexplained losses, and even whispers of portals to other dimensions. The mystery remains unresolved, but the allure of hidden treasure and the tales of unexplained events continue to draw thrill seekers and adventurers from around the world. Just as treasure hunters risk their lives searching for gold in the Superstition Mountains, curious onlookers are left baffled by the eerie and unexplained phenomena in the desert skies of Marfa. The Marfa lights are among the most iconic and enduring mysteries of the Wild West, captivating minds for more than 100 years. Located near Marfa, Texas, these strange orbs of light have been spotted in the vast desert near the Chinati Mountains. But what are they, and why have scientists been unable to explain them? The first documented sighting dates all the way back to the year 1883, when a young rancher named Robert Ellison saw the lights while herding cattle through the area. Yet Native American legends tell of similar lights appearing long before any written records. Over the years, thousands of locals, visitors, and travelers have reported seeing these lights, transforming them into a curious tourist attraction. These mysterious lights are typically described as glowing orbs that hover just above the horizon. They can be red, white, or orange and behave in ways that defy easy explanation. Sometimes they stay motionless for extended periods. Other times they move rapidly, split apart, merge together, or flicker in and out of visibility. What's even stranger, these lights have been observed in all kinds of weather and can appear year-round with a higher frequency on clear nights. So what's behind this eerie phenomenon? Over the years, scientists have proposed several theories. Some suggest that the lights might be the result of atmospheric reflections of distant headlights, campfires, or even swamp gas, much like the will-o'-the wisp seen in other parts of the world. Others speculate that temperature inversions may cause light to bend in strange ways. However, none of these explanations seem to account for the erratic and unpredictable movements that people have witnessed for over a century. A team of researchers from the University of Texas at Dallas attempted to get to the bottom of the mystery. Using advanced monitoring equipment, they suggested that some sightings might be explained by distant car headlights from a nearby highway. But that explanation doesn't cover sightings that took place before cars even existed or those reported in areas with no roads or traffic. Skeptics often point to the proximity of U.S. Route 67, claiming that most sightings could be misidentified reflections of car lights. However, longtime residents and believers remain unconvinced. They describe the lights as moving in ways that no human-made source could replicate, disappearing in an instant with no trace. Could there be a more extraordinary explanation? Some speculate that the lights could be paranormal. Others think the lights could be extraterrestrial in nature, linked to UFO activity. Whatever the case, these theories only add to the intrigue surrounding the lights. Despite numerous studies and countless theories, the Marfa lights remain a baffling enigma. They continue to draw curious spectators from all over the world, defying science and fueling the imagination. Some see them as one of nature's great mysteries, while others believe they hint at forces beyond our understanding. In the rugged landscapes of Wyoming, a mystery surfaced in the year 1934 that still captivates curious minds today. Two miners, while working in the San Pedro Mountains, unearthed a small, mummified figure measuring just 14 inches tall. Dubbed Pedro, this mummy sparked widespread intrigue. Was this an extraordinary discovery, or something more common but misunderstood? What made Pedro so fascinating was that, despite his tiny size, he had the physical features of a fully developed adult. This fueled theories, especially since Native American folklore, particularly from the Shoshone tribe, spoke of a race of little people known as the Nimurgar. According to the legends, these small but fierce beings roamed the lands. Early examinations, including X-rays conducted in the late 1940s and early 1950s, deepened the mystery. Pedro had a full set of teeth and even what appeared to be remnants of solid food in his stomach. Was Pedro an adult, perhaps even a 65-year-old man, as some suggested? Or was there a different explanation? As scientists delved deeper, a more rational theory emerged. Dr. Harry Shapiro from the American Museum of Natural History and later Dr. George Gill from the University of Wyoming conducted further studies. They concluded that Pedro was likely the preserved remains of an infant, possibly one who did not survive birth, and appeared to have experienced a rare condition known as anencephaly. This congenital condition affects the development of the brain, and while Pedro displayed adult-like features, his small size and cranial differences were consistent with this condition. But here's where the story takes an even more puzzling turn. Pedro vanished in the 1950s. Was it sold, stolen, or simply misplaced? No one knows. And without the object, any chance for modern testing vanished as well, leaving us with questions that continue to linger. Let's travel back to the year 1878, where an unusual and perplexing event near Roswell, New Mexico, continues to mystify locals and historians alike. This lesser-known mystery, often overshadowed by the famous Roswell UFO incident of the year 1947, revolves around the peculiar case of John Martin, a cattleman whose fate has left behind more questions than answers. John Martin was discovered under puzzling circumstances that, even today, remain unexplained. According to some reports, his body showed unusual signs, sparking speculation that something out of this world might have been involved. Could this have been an extraterrestrial encounter long before UFOs became a hot topic? Or could his untimely situation have resulted from a more earthly cause, a clash with notorious outlaws, or an unfortunate mishap? The real challenge lies in the scarcity of reliable records from that era. With more than 145 years passing since this strange event, much of the evidence, if it ever existed, has faded away. This has only added fuel to local folklore, with some claiming there's a paranormal twist to the story, even though no solid proof exists. What really unfolded for John Martin in the desert outside Roswell? Could today's science ever shed light on the truth behind this enduring Wild West enigma? The Blythe Intaglios, a series of massive geoglyphs carved into the desert floor near Blythe, California, is one of the most baffling mysteries in the American West. Discovered in the year 1932 by a pilot flying over the Colorado desert, these figures stretch across the landscape, with some as long as 171 feet. What makes them even more intriguing is their scale and positioning. There are 6 major figures in total, 3 of which resemble human forms, while others depict animals like serpents and 4-legged creatures. Though many experts believe the geoglyphs were created by Native American tribes such as the Mojave or Quechan, between 450 and 2,000 years ago, the purpose behind them remains unclear. Some researchers propose that they were used in religious ceremonies, possibly as offerings to the gods or for recounting creation stories. According to local Native American lore, the human-like figures are said to represent Mastamho, the creator of life, while the animal forms may symbolize Hatakulia, a figure connected to creation myths. But is that the full story? One of the most perplexing aspects of these geoglyphs is that they are best viewed from the air. This raises an obvious question: why would ancient people create these massive works of art if they couldn't easily see them from the ground? Some suggest that they were made for the gods to observe from the sky, while others wonder if they might have been used as landmarks or even signals for extraterrestrial visitors. The theories keep growing, but no one can say for certain why they were created. Although the Blythe Intaglios are preserved as part of a California historical monument, the time hasn't been kind to them. During World War II, military vehicles caused significant damage to the site, further complicating efforts to study and understand these ancient figures. Despite these challenges, their size and mystery continue to captivate scientists, leaving us with more questions than answers. What do you think? Could there be a deeper meaning to these ancient desert carvings, or will this be one of the West's great mysteries? Let us know in the comments below. In the late 1800s, settlers in Arizona began reporting sightings of an enormous, unusual creature that no one could quite identify. It wasn't just any wandering animal. This one was described as a rogue camel, but with a startling twist, something resembling a remains figure appeared to be strapped to its back. The first encounter with this creature was recorded in the year 1883 when a local woman had an unfortunate incident that left behind large hoof prints and reddish hair, sparking concern and speculation among the settlers. Could it have been something beyond the ordinary? Over the next 10 years, this creature was spotted several more times, with each encounter adding more intrigue to the mystery. The tale continued to grow until a rancher finally managed to stop the creature. But what was discovered? For over 160 years, the mystery of the Adams Diggings, a legendary gold mine buried deep in the rugged wilderness of New Mexico, has fascinated treasure hunters and adventurers alike. This tale, rooted in the mid-1860s, centers around a prospector named Adams who, along with a group of men, stumbled upon what he described as a rich gold mine. But just as fortune seemed to favor them, a string of misfortunes struck. Following violent conflicts with Native American groups and the loss of key landmarks, the exact location of the mine was forgotten. Adams spent years trying to retrace his steps, but no matter how many attempts he made, the mine remained elusive. His tale has since been passed down through generations, transforming into a mystery that refuses to fade. How could such a valuable treasure simply vanish without a trace? Over the decades, countless adventurers have risked life and limb to locate the Adams Diggings, following the same vague descriptions of the land provided by Adams. Yet the wild terrain of New Mexico, combined with the lack of reliable clues, has made the search nearly impossible. Could it be that the mine never existed, or has it remained hidden, waiting for the right person to uncover it? Despite advances in technology that have made it easier to explore remote areas, the Adams Diggings remain undiscovered, a symbol of the Wild West's most intriguing and dangerous quest for wealth. The mystery of this lost mine continues to draw curious seekers. If you enjoyed today's video, please give it a like and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Your support means a lot to us. Click on the video that appears on your screen right now. I'm sure you'll love this content. Comment below about the next country you'd like to see featured on our channel. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for being with us. Leave a comment, like to show your support, and remember to hit that subscribe button for more exciting videos. See you next time.